from on this Wednesday, the 23rd of July 2025. Some wise marketers coined it Ladies' Night, but right here at this particular hour, right here from the reporting center of KU, is going to be a moment for the prime time news right here. But first, let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Politics, passion and presidential ambitions. President William Ruto questions David Maraga's loyalty to Kenyans, dismissing his claims that Kenya faces a political crisis. Terror or turmoil. Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen draws the line and condemns violent protests as terrorism. Public hospitals for public servants. Parliament ponders. Sports dreams revived or recycled promises. President William Ruto announces dedication to ensure the completion of Talanta Sports City Stadium. And of course, my name is Emmanuel Kutosi, and I'll be going through with Brian Peru on the sign language interpretation, holding brief for Yvonne Kemuma. Let's get into it. Now, the 2027 presidential race may still be 2 years away, but the engines are already revving. President William Ruto has fired back at former Chief Justice David Maraga for declaring his candidacy and suggesting Kenya is teetering on the edge of being a failed state. Patricia Mutanu has the full political plate.
Some have accused my administration of over-promising.
Speaking at the Nairobi Securities Exchange NSE, President William Ruto dismissed comments made by the former Chief Justice David Maraga that Kenya is at verge of collapse. Ruto maintained that Kenya remains to be a great nation, one that has made remarkable strides despite facing various challenges.
We have a great nation. We have a great nation. It is our duty and responsibility to make it greater.
Maraga, having declared his intention to run for presidency in the 2027 general elections, the president questioned why would someone who has seemingly lost faith in Kenya would seek to lead the nation.
I listened to one gentleman who retired the other day after working, I think, for 40, 50 years. And he wants to be president. And I listened to him say, Kenya is a failed state. And I asked myself, so for 40 years, you have been working in a failed state?
Ruto did not fail to address his critics who continuously make one-time chants in public, stating just like the others who have held the seat before him and are now gone, he will too leave when the time comes.
Who say Ruto must go? And for sure, just like those who were there before me, my time will come and I will go. Just like those who were there before me did.
Led by the Treasury CS John, Ruto's allies vowed to keep supporting the current regime in bolsters its political and economic strides.
Your Excellency, through these innovations, we are able to undertake projects of very serious national importance.
It gives me great pleasure to join the capital markets fraternity this morning as we celebrate a significant milestone.
As a market, we deeply appreciate your steadfast commitment to the growth and development of Kenya's capital markets.
While critics raise concerns over the country's political trajectory, the government maintains its focus on collaboration and progress, seeking to steer Kenya towards growth and stability. Patricia Alex for KUTV, Nairobi.
Elsewhere, raising their voices and quite a few eyebrows in a renewed wave of civic energy, leaders of the Democracy for Citizens Party have fired back at President William Ruto over his recent remarks, urging the opposition to present their manifestos instead of what they termed as one-term chants. Led by DCP Deputy Party Leader Cleophas Malala during a rally in Limuru, Kiambu County, the leaders maintained that their agenda is the direct reflection of the people's voice. The party further rejected a proposal by ODM leader Raila Odinga to convene a national integrational dialogue to handle youth unrest and dissatisfaction with the government.
Tumesikia ati anasema tumpe plan kabla yeye hajatoka. Tunataka tumwambie kwamba plani yetu ni Wakenya ambao tutapatia, si yeye.
Vile Ruto amefanyia uchumi, amefanyia matibabu, tukitoa plan si hata hiyo ataiba. Tena sisi hatuwezi patia Ruto mpango yetu, si mpango ni ya Wakenya.
Mimi nimesikia ati William Ruto na Raila Odinga wanasema ati wanataka tukue na conversation, ati national conversation. Nyinyi mnataka kuongea na Ruto? Nyinyi mnataka kuongea na Raila? Sisi kama chama cha DCP tumesema ile condition ya mazungumzo ni ya kwamba wewe William Ruto ukitaka kuongelesha Wakenya, wewe na Raila, sisi kama opposition, wale watu tutatuma kwa hiyo meza, mtu wa kwanza ni Rex Masai.
An Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has come out swinging, labeling the violent protests as acts of terrorism. He warns that destruction of infrastructure and essential services won't go unpunished. Pauleto Tieno brings us the full blast.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has declared the government's unwavering stance on acts of violence committed during recent protests. Speaking in Eldoret during the launch of the Jukwaa la Usalama Forum, the CS emphasized that the Prevention of Terrorism Act will be fully enforced.
The security team are finalizing investigations, particularly on the financiers and the chief inciters in this county, and arrests will be done in good time. Some of those who are trying to finance attacks on properties and attempted attacks on properties will be properly charged for the crimes that they are trying to commit.
Murkomen pointed to the destruction of public infrastructure, endangerment of lives, and disruption of essential services as acts that qualify as terrorism under the law. He also criticized the Law Society of Kenya, accusing it of defending criminals at the expense of innocent Kenyans who have suffered property loss with billions.
I saw the interview of the LSK president, and I was surprised that she was arrogating herself the position of a judge. We have presented the evidence to court. How did she assess that it was not watertight? And how did she assess that he did not miss the threshold? That is a court process, you know. There is no court that admits a charge sheet that is defective, you know.
He urged the judiciary not to bow to pressure when issuing bail terms, insisting that courts must offer protection to the public by treating such cases with the seriousness they deserve. Murkomen further challenged the opposition and legal fraternity to support peaceful demonstrations and distance themselves from acts of sabotage.
I know there are some people who are trying to intimidate judges, magistrates, so that they can give lighter bail terms and lighter sentences. I want to ask the judiciary and the Chief Justice to stand firm.
Murkomen concluded by reaffirming the government's commitment to upholding national security, urging the stakeholders, including the opposition and legal bodies, to act responsibly. He emphasized that protecting lives and property must remain a collective priority if Kenya is to perceive peace and constitutional order. Paulette Akoth, KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, Chief Justice Martha Koome is setting the record straight, saying her earlier remarks were based on briefings specific to the Kikuyu courthouse chaos. And Chief Justice also insists that she was not condemning all protesters, just the ones with a mysterious flair for distraction. All right, and moving on, Juja Member of Parliament George Koimburi has been charged with faking his own abduction. Prosecutors say he was dodging a land fraud arrest. Now he's out on a 300,000 cash bail. But the drama resumes on the 5th of August. Now, a new motion could see all public officers required to use public health facilities. No more dodging queues for private rooms. Is it accountability or political aspirin? Stephen Marshall has the pulse of the House.
All civil servants, public officers and state officers will be required to use public healthcare facilities under the Universal Healthcare UHC framework. This follows the tabling of policy by nominated MP Sabina Chege. According to Chege, the policy aimed at making sure the public health services are compulsory for all government employees.
I would want to urge this House to support this motion. What I am just saying is that we need to have a policy by the Ministry of Health so that, Mr. Speaker, we can make sure that we have enough funding. If this House, Mr. Speaker, have 10 million cover times 349, that is already 349 million only from this House that can be able to support our public health care, Mr. Speaker. I want these members to have confidence in their facilities, though health is devolved.
According to Chege, the lack of adequate funding for public hospitals has contributed significantly to the poor quality of healthcare services in the country. However, she added that by making it mandatory for all public officers to use public health facilities, the government will boost funding, promote accountability, and enhance service delivery.
Mr. Speaker, if these doctors know that anytime a member of parliament would walk in and come for a medical attention, we will have them there on time, we'll have quality services. And finally, Mr. Speaker, for this House to believe that the public health facilities can work, I urge all of you to visit it's not very new, but it's a modern Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital.
While supporting the motion, Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro emphasized the importance of restoring trust in country's healthcare services. He said that the move will help promote accountability among leaders and public institutions.
Appropriate money, we are basically showing the signs on the kind of service we want delivered in the country. And Honorable Speaker, I see it as a paradox that healthcare is actually basically a fully devolved function. But when you look at the appropriation of the money that we give to our counties, vis-a-vis the money that remains in the national government, Honorable Speaker, that leaves a lot to be desired. And I think we need to walk the talk in terms of devolving even the funds and the resources that are needed for our county governments and our governors to be able to provide quality and accessible healthcare in our country.
Once approved, the government will begin drafting regulations to guide implementation of the universal healthcare system, with the exemptions for referrals for specialized healthcare and unavailable public hospitals. Stephen Masha, KUTV, Nairobi.
Environment Cabinet Secretary Deborah Mlongo found herself in the hot seat defending her ministry's handling of waste disposal, with senators tossing hard questions like banana peels on a windy day. Percy Achola has the blow-by-blow from the green battlefield.
Today's Senate session turned tense as lawmakers grilled Environment Cabinet Secretary Deborah Mlongo over illegal waste dumping and delayed environmental projects.
Nations Championship.
Murang'a Senator Joseph Ngutu demanded to know what urgent measures the ministry is taking to address improper waste disposal, particularly in designated dumping zones.
For question B, Honorable Speaker, the ministry, through the National Environment Management Authority, has issued several advisories to all the county governments and the Council of Governors on sustainable waste management. Some of the advisories include on 19th July 2024, where NEMA wrote to the county governors through COG advising counties to remove all wastes in undesignated sites. And
in her response, CS Barasa acknowledged persistent challenges, especially at the county level, including failure by devolved units to conduct environmental impacts assessments.
Honorable Speaker, the challenges in waste management at county level are several. We have challenges with counties which are at times adamant to undertake environmental impact assessment and annual environmental audits, making it very hard for NEMA to regulate. Counties are again adamant to license their waste transportation trucks with NEMA, and dump sites are neglected and have poor road networks.
Representing Marsabit Senator Mohamed Chute, Senator Ngutu further questioned the ministry preparedness and funding allocation for environmental projects.
See what short and long-term interventions has the ministry developed to contain or eradicate the Prosopis juliflora, including projected timelines, budgetary allocations, and multi-agency or county-level plans aimed at the restoring affected rangelands, especially in light of its 2022 classification as a national security threat. And finally, Mr. Speaker, has the ministry undertaken or reviewed any scientific assessments on the viability of Prosopis juliflora?
The most affected areas of Marsabit County are Loglogo, Moyale, Loyangalani, Maikona, Kor, North Hor, Malabot, Martidorop, and South Hor, among others. This is Annex 1. So, regarding the short and long-term interventions, Honorable Speaker, the ministry began responding to Prosopis challenge by jointly undertaking baseline studies between.
The responsibility now lies with Environment CS Mlongo Barasa to ensure that the issues that stirred heated debate in today's Senate session are fully addressed. Percy Achola, KUTV, Nairobi.
19 minutes past the top of the hour, need you our first break right here on the Wednesday edition of the KUTV Prime Time News. We have a lot more in store for you. Don't go too far.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade, but like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself, the second advent is imminent.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mukwa James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu mwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia.
They find it quite strange talking to you.
You should just make schools integrated.
Inclusive setups.
By providing the right facilities.
Welcome back to the Wednesday edition of the KUTV Primetime News that is also streaming live through our YouTube platform on KUTV News Kenya. And of course, we invite you to join the conversation and chime in your sentiments through our social media handles at KUTV_Kenya on the X platform and at _Emmanuel Kutosi. Now, Kutv village in Kirinyaga County was engulfed in sorrow as mourners laid to rest 20-year-old Jacqueline Nyawira killed during the Sabasaba protest. Now, Gen Z showed up in force, demanding accountability and decrying police brutality.
Our dearest daughter, from the moment we first held you, our words changed forever. Your daughter has been our melody, your dreams our aspirations. Watching you grow into the remarkable woman you are today fills us with indescribable pride.
Your smile is unforgettable and your friendship is unmatched. We made memories I hold forever from the days we went out and laughed at ourselves to the time you stayed with me. And we talk about everything and nothing. Life without you isn't the same. But I thank God I got to call you my friend. Rest in peace, Jackie. Love.
Vifo vya watoto wetu vifike mwisho. Enough is enough. Kwa sababu niko na hakika kwanza, wakati wazazi wa Jacqueline walienda kupiga kura 2022, niko na uhakika ya kwamba walienda wakampigia kura na wakamwachia mtoto wake kwa sababu alikuja hapa aka.
Now, Ruto must go one term. Such were the chants as mourners at Mr. KK Mwenyewe's funeral turned up the volume, and not just in grief. Dennis Itumbi was met with chants of Ruto must go as frustrations boiled over in what used to be a political safe ground. Now, comedian KK Mwenyewe, whose real name was Zakaria Karaoke, was laid to rest in an emotional ceremony in Lari, Kiambu County. Okay, and away from that, drama unfolded in Nyaisero, Kisii County as police-backed exhumation was stopped mid-travel by a furious family members. Now, a disputed court order and raw emotions have now sparked calls for an investigation. Edna Nerea uncovers the whole story.
Tempers flared in Ogembo after police officers stormed the homestead of the late Teresa Nyanchama Nyangwara, allegedly to exhume her body. Armed with what they claimed was a court order, the officers were met with resistance from the family, who questioned the documents on 30 City. Mombasa Nyangwara, one of the sons, claimed that the family had not been served personally and pointed out that an earlier court order had scheduled an inter-party hearing for July 30th.
Leo wamekuja na serikali mpaka hata chief area kwamba wanakuja kufukua mama wa 2021. Sasa wamekuja kufukua, wanasema nimezika mama 2179, ambaye mimi sijui na sina habari kuhusu 2179. Ile namba najua na wanafaa kunirudishia mimi ni 1846. Hiyo nyingine sijui. Ndio sababu nikaenda kotini kukataa ile kesi ambayo wamefanya, sijui walifanya na nani. Mimi sikupata barua kwamba nimeahidi kwenda kotini. Walistaji mtu ambaye amekufa na mgonjwa mwenye kwa kitanda.
Accompanied by by the area chief and civilians believed to have been hired. The officers left in haste after being shown the conflicting court directive. The family says this is just the latest twist in a long-standing land dispute involving multiple burials on the contested plot, including their mothers in 2021.
Leo tarehe 22 nimepata ripoti kwamba wamekuja kwetu kwa 2179, ati ndio nimeshika mama yangu. Baba alikufa 1983. Ndugu yangu akakufa 1995. Aliyefuata akakufa 1998. Ndugu mwenye alikuwa na kesi na yeye alikufa 1996. Alikufa 2016. Mama amekufa 2021.
On the other hand, Dennis Micheka, a family member, strongly opposed the exemption attempt, accusing the area chief of favoritism. He also raised concerns about police being accompanied by armed civilians and threatened to take the matter to the county security committee over alleged intimidation and unfair treatment.
Kwa Chief James Makinda, tunakuambia ya kwamba hii kitanda ambacho kimetendeka unakichua since mwaka 2007. Kwa hivyo baada ya hii tutaandamana mpaka kwa sub county commissioner tujue ni kwa nini, ni kitu gani kinaendelea kati yako na watu ambao unaongoza, kwa sababu uwezi kuegemea upande mmoja kila wakati.
The family is now calling on the judiciary and security agencies to establish the validity of the court order and take action against those who accompanied the police with crude weapons. They say the dignity of their late mother and the truth must be protected. Edna Nerea, Kutv, Nairobi.
We're swiftly in the sporting arena, where with the African Cup of Nations 2027 matchups drawing near, Sports CS Salim Mvurya told Senate that Kenya will complete stalled stadiums in time, whether we sprint or stumble to the finish line. Lucy and Brian track the process.
Appearing before the Senate today, the Cabinet Secretary for Youth Affairs and Sports Salim Mvurya confirmed Kenya's readiness to host the African National Champions in Kasarani Stadium. According to Mvurya, Utalii College, Ulinzi and Police Circle grounds will be used for training ahead of 2nd of August Chan Championship.
For the African Nations Championship, Chan, we have currently handed over Kasarani, and in addition we have 2 training grounds annex to Kasarani. We have Annex 1 and Annex 2, which are training grounds for Chan. We have equally handed over Ulinzi for training and Police Stadium, Police Circle Stadium for training, which we have also Utalii College grounds, which will also be part of Chan. So that is the package.
With senators raising questions about the use of funds allocated for the new construction of Water Stadium in Makueni County with a seating capacity of 5,000, Mvurya assured that the 5 billion previously allocated shall be used for the project and no further funding will come from the National Treasury. The CS further clarified that water will not serve as a training venue during the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations, as it had not been assessed for the tournament.
In terms of the budget for this, we don't have a national treasury allocation. However, through Sports Kenya, we pay the certificates as we arise, because we have allocated, we have a total of around 5 billion of stadium investment. So right now, water has not been assessed for this kind of tournaments. However, we want to speed up completion. We want to resolve the technical challenges and make it ready, for other sporting activities. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
With regards to the concerns raised about the stalled construction of several stadiums across the country, including Bukungu Stadium in Kakamega, Kiprugut Chumo Stadium in Kericho, and Olkalau Stadium in Nyandarua.
Number one, there were issues in Bukungu Stadium in Kakamega. Then we visited, we had a meeting with the county government and the technical team. And as we speak, Honorable Speaker, we resolved the issues around Bukungu and the contractor is on site. We agreed that the county government will be settling that one, as we also manage the 1.5 billion part of the spending that we'll do in Kakamega.
Nevertheless, Mvurya assured that the ministry has set aside 70 million shillings, which will be used to reward athletes who won titles but are yet to be honored. Edna Nerea, KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, President William Ruto is all in on finishing Kenya's largest stadium in over 40 years. Ruto today announced his dedication to ensure completion of the Talanta Sports City Stadium, marking the first large-scale proposed-built international stadium project in over 40 years. He stated that the stadium's construction is funded through domestic capital mobilization, demonstrating innovation and financial strength, and also emphasized that Talanta Sports City aims to host international tournaments and develop local talent, restoring Kenya's reputation as a leading sporting nation. Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvurya, in a separate engagement, confirmed that Talanta Stadium is 45% complete, with other AFCON venues expected to be ready between December 2025 and June 2026.
The Talanta Sports City marks Kenya's first large-scale, purpose-built international stadium project in more than 40 years. The last comparable undertaking was the construction of Moi International Sports Center Kasarani, completed in 1987 ahead of the All Africa Games. This modern, world-class complex is designed to host international tournaments, foster local talent, and restore Kenya's reputation as a sporting powerhouse. I commend the Nairobi Securities Exchange for the remarkable feat of facilitating 3 listings in a single month. This momentum reflects renewed energy, strong leadership, and strategic clarity.
Right, and that's how we wrap up this chilly Wednesday bulletin. Of course, served hot and toasty due to our unbeatable KUTV squad. Much thanks and appreciation, particularly to our news team within and in being able to report and actually compile these reports inconclusively, led by our chief producer, that is Anyango Sylvia, and also our editor-in-chief, that is Ochieng Cynthia, ensuring the videos come in top-notch. And of course, we cannot fail to note the mighty technical team that has been able to ensure everything goes smoothly, led by the command of one Wanjiko Wanjiro, proving once again that a well-oiled machine can beat any weather. Well, that's how we wrap it up. And of course, to the council to stay warm within this period that we are experiencing our own Kenyan winter. But perhaps something that is of note, some very crafty marketers coined it Ladies' Night. But council, from the wise man himself, the only thing worth catching is good vibes, not anything else. Ladies' Night. My name is Emmanuel Kutosi, and on sign language interpretation, we've been with Brian Peru. Good night, stay safe, stay warm.